Is anyone safe? I truly don't believe so because, well, we are now storming the island. The prison. Katsuda, Kondo, the other guy broke out themselves, but are so far trapped. And no one's gonna overthrow an entire regime if they can't overcome a little bit of water. Luckily, a armada is headed their way, some with oars, some with sharks. All with the joint purpose in mind. To make sure Gintama doesn't get cancelled. So, while we're seeing the original function of the Shinsengumi when it was built up from nothing. I remember them coming from a relatively quite rural area to make a new life. And he seemed to start off as a guard. Or the day that it just once again reinforces their bonds. Thanks for that bit of information, I guess. You know, the more we learn about our phone friend, the better. Also, when it comes to Gintama and its well, we saw just there. You've got the overpass with the 5-kilometer sign, the old style Edo infrastructure architecture, mobile phones, everything relatively modern, and the fact that it actually somewhat blends. People walking around with swords, samurai, ninja. Why do we question none of it? Is it because it is Gintama? And how many character silhouettes will we be able to distinguish immediately? I don't think I'd ever manage to get Elizabeth's. It's just too hard to see. Well, if they were smart, they would have used decoy ships. But if you manage to distract them while you sneak in unnoticed, well, some of them I can see being able to climb it. So you just need to get the initial distance. Right, up you go. Oh. Actually, just... I see! I mean, the rope is a little slick, obviously, but at Kentucky has the right idea. The fact that he is the lowest rung on that stair. Yeah, getting to the top with just, what, 2 people? I thought Shinpachi was just going to point out a stairway or a ladder. I mean, everyone around here does make a situation, well, insane enough that you forget about your worries. And other than, not leaving her alone and her probably wanting to be here, is there a reason why she's been brought along? He's turned into such a reliable young boy. It's good to see that, compared to where we started, Shinpachi has become so independent. I'm not gonna leave him be. Okay. Is he going to turn face and join the fray? Essentially, they have quite a lot in common. In a different place on a different day, they could have been side by side. Why not do it for justice and the law? There's quite a few people gathered in the same place. How often have their lives converged and overlapped? The birds have noticed some free food. They better not slip. And you'll be on the climb even longer. Hey, it's a quick way down. I mean, if you really want to just get the point across, Okta is the one you want to go to. The love of battle is shining in his eyes there. And together, they are a force to be reckoned with. How many "you can't die before I kill you" types are there? And that is if the birds themselves aren't a giveaway. Already waiting. That seemed like a very light shot. Maybe just didn't have a good sound mixing for the pistol. One way of looking at it, but I don't think it is quite the same. Plus, would you really want a second? It's good that they are now on bits of the cliff with a bit of a footing. Who's gonna grab her? They do have quite a few volleys to go. Why does Elizabeth have drilling capabilities? Who installed that function? Also, why didn't they mention any of this before? Maybe they should have waited for the... I don't think that was an act. Damn Crow, not doing his job correctly. Don't send him back down the cliff. Maybe get out of the hole before you start giving a lecture. I mean, should you be really talking to the birds while there is a battle raging? I don't think he's fully recovered from his bread epidemic. I mean, still using the Z. In the heat of battle, just knowing your allies and where they are. A Kagura missile. Why do people always seem so shocked when they get stabbed? Another volley into their own allies. You see, this is the advantage of missile troops. She hasn't gotten over being thrown yet. And will the Mimowagumi continue to be adversarial? He's gonna carry on. He's got his eyes on someone else. Less because he wants to help out more, he just wants that fight again. And to be fair, out of everyone, I'd probably trust him with it. The fact that, they've still got all of their particular roles to play. Why, unless they've used all their missiles, all their arrows, why go down? You have the high ground. Come back alive, rescue the chief. What a great message. How far are they going to have to go? And the animation in this is it switches between excellent and somewhat lazy. Sounds about right for Gintama, actually. Rather than relying on floating message boards or carriers or anything, mobile phone would definitely do the job. If they give up now, what about those that have already fallen? In fact, he has some sense, even for potential rivals and enemies of the past. The real sense of brotherhood and honour between, I'd say, main characters. And having that change where there's no longer the police against the rebels. Unless they do something to really fuck it up after this. Careful with the bushes, it's drawn differently. What about the, as you said, Pops? We haven't seen much of him since he ran. Is this a story of his... What's the Joker doing here? His somewhat turning point redemption? Taking the paths less travelled rather than just doing things the easy route to survive. I was about to say, was that Yamazaki's voice? Not talking to him. I mean, was it because he wasn't able to respond? But really, cutting through to his ego there. No hint of being afraid. Being denied the opportunity to fight there. Is definitely got the makings of a leader, isn't he? Giving this speech right now. Be careful, they're moving forward. An impromptu styling of his hair. I hope that's oil. And that's how we house-trained Yamazaki. It's probably also why he is so subordinate now, how his had all sense of ego and bluster taken away from him. But the fact that all these, whether they be rebels or Shinji Gumi, fighting for those, fighting for their friends, their brothers. It put themselves in such danger. Having that kind of bond between everyone is something that you can't disparage in the slightest. And also, since the big guy is still vanished and missing, is he going to come in with some sort of reinforcement force somehow? What is this battle? Just blood, blades, and birds. That's what we've seen in this episode so far. Not really anywhere close to saving anyone. In fact, quite a few have fallen, but as long as the idea of the Shinsengumi survives, with Matsudaru, something like that, running through the forest, unless he's encountered anyone, he might be able to lead Hijikata and everyone else back to where Kondo and Katsura are fighting, and really help out. Unfortunately, due to all of this backstory and showing of where they came from, it's telling me that something dire is about to happen. Now, who it's going to happen to is still a mystery. But whenever we get these feel-good memories, the history of characters, how they came to be, it means there's going to be some large event. And of course, having everyone march onto a prison island to rescue people who were due to be executed probably isn't going to go completely according to plan, off without a hitch. So, who gets caught up? And who could have asked for a better team than the third captain and Elizabeth? Their conversations will be legendary. Just with a lot of waste. And as far as interpersonal relationships go, this arc has done wonders for them. Everyone fighting side by side with so little as a... Well, actually, no. A character planting a few members into the side of the cliff might have set back some friendships. But strangely might have also reinforced others, so who knows? All I really understand is that I want to see more, and probably you do too. So if you want to consider subscribing to the channel to make sure you don't miss out future episodes, feel free. But while you're still here, consider leaving a like and a comment down below. It really picks me up and makes me want to continue making videos. Grab yourself a bit of rest. If they can work things out together, let's hope for pretty much all of us. See you in the next one. My patrons have made it so that I can run through the forest knowing that there's at least some that are protecting my back. So I really need to thank Electricant, Noku, Raywind, Kite, Sal, Shiwan, Matt, Gurley, Cardboard, Croyfield, Gintaman, Jennifer Rojas, D. Theodore, Alvin Garsan, Defender of Segs, Dark Shadow 7899 and everyone else. And if you would like to fight side by side, if not for me, then at least for some more Gintama, and consider joining onto my Patreon as well. Because trust me, there really is no escape for me from this prison island that is watching anime on the internet.